Did you know most people don't actually have small shoulders? They have undertrained side delts, neglected rear delts, and traps that never get enough high-tension work. So they press heavy, their front delts take over, their neck gets tight, and they still look the same in a t-shirt. If you want bigger shoulders and thicker traps, the kind that give you that wide, powerful upper body frame, you need to train them with intention. Not random raises, not ego upright rows, and definitely not just more sets. Today I'm breaking down the 6 best exercises to build bigger shoulders and traps, using movements that hit all the key pieces. Front delts, pressing strength. Side delts, width plus roundness. Rear delts, 3D shape plus posture. Upper traps, thickness plus yoke. Mid/lower traps, balance plus shoulder health. And stay until the end, because I'll show you a simple weekly plan that puts these into a routine that actually grows. Before we start, one quick thing you need to understand. Your shoulder look isn't one muscle, it's a system. And the people with insane shoulders don't just train harder, they train the right functions. Pressing abduction, side raising, horizontal abduction, rear delt work, scapular elevation, traps, scapular control under load, carries plus smart trap work. Let's get into it. Exercise 1. Overhead press, dumbbells, or machine. If you want shoulders that look strong, not just pumpy, you need an overhead press. Pressing is the foundation for anterior delt development and overall shoulder strength. And research comparing shoulder exercises consistently shows the shoulder press produces high activation in the anterior deltoid, compared to common chest-dominant movements. How to do it right. Sit or stand tall, ribs down. Start with elbows slightly in front of your torso, scapular plane. Press up and slightly back so the weight ends over your midfoot. Control the descent. Don't just drop it. Key cue. Think head through at the top, not lean back. Common mistake, turning it into a standing incline bench by leaning back and flaring ribs. That shifts stress away from the delts and into the lower back. Why dumbbells or a machine? They often feel more natural on the shoulders than a straight bar path and can be easier to keep strict, especially when training close to failure. Exercise 2. Cable or dumbbell, lateral raise. This is the moneymaker for shoulder width. If your shoulders look narrow from the front, it's not because you need more presses. It's almost always because your side delts are undertrained. Lateral raises are repeatedly shown to strongly recruit the medial deltoid. And we even have hypertrophy data showing that both dumbbell and cable lateral raises can increase lateral deltoid muscle thickness over a training block, meaning you can pick the version you'll progress consistently. How to do it right? Start with arms slightly in front of your body, not directly out to the sides. Lead with the elbows. Raise until about shoulder height, lower slowly and stay in control. Cable tip. Set the cable slightly behind you and step out. This keeps tension more consistent through the range. Common mistake. Going too heavy and turning it into a swinging full body movement. If your traps are taking over and your torso is rocking, it's not a lateral raise anymore. Pro progression. Use a small pause near the top, then control the negative. Side delts respond insanely well to clean reps and consistent overload. Exercise 3. Rear delt cable, fly or reverse pec deck. Most people's shoulders don't look 3D because the rear delts are missing. Rear delts are also a huge part of shoulder health, posture, and that capped look from the side. A key advantage here, rear delt isolation work reduces the chance your arms and chest dominate the movement. And evidence-based overviews of deltoid training consistently emphasize that pulling/horizontal abduction patterns light up the posterior deltoid compared to pressing-only programs. How to do it right. Set cables at about shoulder height. Soft bend in elbows. Pull your hands out and back in an arc. Think spread the shoulder blades without shrugging up. Common mistake. Shrugging and turning this into an upper trap movement. Rear delts should feel like a burn behind the shoulder, not in your neck. Reverse pec deck tip. Keep your chest pinned to the pad and let the rear delts do the work. If you're bouncing reps, it's too heavy. Exercise 4, shrugs, but do them like this. If you want traps that pop, you need direct trap work. Shrugs are one of the highest activation choices for the upper trapezius in classic EMG testing. And there's also research suggesting that modifying shrugging to emphasize upward rotation can increase useful trapezius involvement compared to a standard shrug pattern. How to do it right. Hold heavy dumbbells, barbell, or trap bar. Think up and slightly back, not roll shoulders. Pause briefly at the top. Lower under control. No bouncing. Common mistake. Rolling your shoulders in circles. That doesn't build traps better, it just adds junk motion. Best rep range for traps. Traps grow well with heavy tension and controlled volume. Use a mix, heavier sets of 6 to 10, plus some controlled sets of 10 to 15. Exercise 5, farmer's carries or trap bar carries. This is the trap builder most people skip because it's not a bodybuilding move. But carries force the traps to work the way they were built to work, stabilizing heavy load for time. Loaded carry research shows carries are a legitimate high-demand pattern that recruits multiple systems under real bracing and locomotion demands. How to do it right. Stand tall, ribs down, neck neutral, walk slow and controlled. Don't let shoulders slump forward. Keep steps smooth. No wobbling side to side. Programming options, heavy carry, 20 to 40 meters. Moderate carry, 40 to 80 meters. Or timed, 30 to 60 seconds. Common mistake, letting posture collapse as soon as it gets hard. Carries only build the yoke if you keep the yoke tall. Exercise 6, wide grip, upright rows, cable, or dumbbells. This one is powerful, but only if you do it smart. Upright rows can drive strong delt, plus trap stimulus and grip width matters. Research on upright rows shows increasing grip width increases deltoid and trapezius activity, while shifting demands away from the biceps. But here's the warning. The classic barbell upright row can force awkward shoulder positioning for many people, and a lot of coaches recommend swapping it for dumbbells or cables for a smoother path. How to do it right. Safe version. Use a cable rope or 2 dumbbells. Take a wider grip than you think. Pull elbows up and out. Stop around upper chest level, don't crank it to your neck. Control down slowly. Common mistake, going narrow, yanking high, and letting shoulders roll forward. That's where people irritate shoulders. How to program this for real growth. You don't need all 6 in one workout. Train shoulders/traps 2 times per week. Day A, strength plus width. Day B, 3D plus yoke day. Overhead press, 3 to 4 sets of 5 to 8. Lateral raise, 3 to 4 sets of 10 to 20 shrugs, 3 sets of 6 to 12 day B, 3D plus yoke. Rear delt cable fly/reverse pec deck, 3 to 4 sets of 12 to 20. Wide grip upright row, cable/DB, 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 farmer's carries, 3 rounds of 30 to 60 seconds, or 20 to 60 meters. Weekly target, side delts, 8 to 14 hard sets. Rear delts, 6 to 12 hard sets. Traps, 6 to 12 hard sets, plus carry volume. Progression rule. If you're not improving reps, load, control, or range of motion over time, your shoulders won't change. If you want bigger shoulders and traps, save this routine and run it for the next 8 weeks. Then tell me what changed. And if you got value from this breakdown, like the video, it helps the channel more than you think. Subscribe for science-based training that actually works. And comment, which is your weak point? Side delts or traps? Train with purpose. Control your reps, progress patiently, and build shoulders that make your whole physique look stronger.